that when Jesus said that he had other sheep, now it also said that he was lost for 40 days and 40 nights, or not really lost,
Yeah,
but
found.
he wasn't there
Yeah.
with his friends.
Yeah.
But now, some people say that there's a lost tribe of Israelites that we call them,
Yes, yes.
and they believe that they migrated here.
West.
But now, our ancestors have always told us we were always here, that the Creator put us here. Now, it stands to reason, just by my way of thought, no matter what you call your Creator, if you call him God, if you call him Allah, if you call him, in our language, Skia Netlano, the Creator of all things, if the Creator can create Adam and Eve in one part of the world, it stands to reason he can create other men and women in other parts of the world. So there's no way of telling who really was the first man and woman, because their history on that part of the world has been written down and documented. Our history has been spoken through stories,
Vibrations. Music.
handed down from generation to generation.
Uh, Thank you for saying that. Do you feel like there's a connection with hip hop, the way that the Zulu nations did the dances with hip hop, bringing it into that frame? But we have the Latino young men who are, the mixture, the genocide of the Indians through other cultures and natives. And
Can
do
I
you feel that that's like, is that an upliftment for the young youth, the hip hop?
can I get back to the first question?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well,
I'm sorry. I thought you answered it. I was like, you
no,
framed
I
it in
was
perfect words. You said we all come from one earth and one God, one creator.
yeah,
So we are those children of God that they
yeah,
speak of. We are
yeah,
all, when we recognize that, and I just needed you to verify that for me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You hit it right on the jackpot there.
Let us know that we are the seventh generation. You know what I mean?
The-
Let us know that. That we are
Ab-
that we all look at ourselves all like natives too.
Well, we
We all
are
are
always,
natives.
indigenous
because
beings.
our prophecy, one of our prophecies says that now is the time for the children of the Creator to come to return home, for all nations to return home. Where else in the world do you have a
Melting pot.
mixture of every culture? It's here.
That's right.
Here.
And
That's right.
when they talk about the Bible, they say Adam and Eve was cast out of
The Eden.
the
Garden
Garden
of
of
Eden.
Eden. What
Paradise.
if this
And
was
they went to the
paradise?
east.
Yes.
What if this was the garden?
Yes.
Yeah, because they went east of Eden.
Yeah.
East of here is what we call,
China, India.
not even before that, Israel,
Yeah.
Africa.
Yeah.
That's east.
Kemet.
You know what I'm saying?
All that.
So Babylonia, whichever ones you looking at,
We're all
it's
from
all
one,
east of here.
one connection.
So it's
In the days of
possible.
Peleg, this land was separated. So before that, it was all one land.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's after the flood. That's after the Tower of Babel. So that's one land. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Multiple peoples, one nation, one people, one blood. Yeah, very.
And do you have any knowledge upon like the stories within Atlantis and Lemuria, stuff like
Yeah.
that? How we
Yeah.
called America once Turtle Island.
Uh-huh.
Like, can you give me a brief description? Just to spark my pineal gland,
Okay.
if you will.
We have a story, and it's not as old as the creation story, as the beginning of the world, but it is very old, and it is well before Sequoia Gist, the person that got the credit for making our syllabary. The story says that at this time, the land was in danger of going under the water. So the people of this uncommon knowledge picked the brightest ones from each family, the brightest ones from each clan, the best runners, the best warriors, the best people that could, like doctors, the best healers. I mean, all the best ones
Naturalists.
couldn't save everybody,
Yeah, yeah.
but they got the best of the best out of these different classes of peoples, and they were all put on these sailing vessels, and these sailing vessels had the syllabary written all over our language, our written language. And once they left that land before the water covered it, they came to a place. Once they landed, they asked, "Is this where we're supposed to live?" They said, "No, this is not where we're supposed to live. Keep going." So then they went to a land of sadness. And they said, "Is this where we're to stay?" "No. We will come back to this land, but this is not where we're to stay." Then they met another nation of people. They called them the wild-eyed people. Now they lived with these wild-eyed people and started to marry with them, and then started to become into their culture and their into ours. But they found these people to be cannibals, eaters of flesh.
And excuse me, before you call them wild eye, one eye, wild eye,
No, wild eyes.
eyes.
They just,
Thank
but
you.
they just call them wild-eyed people.
Okay, wild
Crazy
eye.
eye.
And so once they found these people were starting to feed on them, they almost wiped them off the earth.
Wow.
They killed them, almost all of them.
It reminds me of a similar story.
And then they migrated over to where we're at now, to the Great Smoky Mountains, the Appalachian Mountains. But now that story, that's not a well-known story. Not everybody knows that one. Not all the storytellers know that.
Thank you.
Only one storyteller has told me that story.
Wow.
But now, that story that he spoke of, the Caddo people have a similar story of a group of people coming into their homelands, marrying into them, and then making war upon them,
Makes sense.
and almost killing them all.
Wow.
Did these people come from caves?
What's that?
Did these people come from caves?
Well, it depends upon. For me, there's no way of telling. Because this story that I'm telling you, it comes from this one storyteller over here.
Yes.
Now, the story that you're asking about comes from the storyteller over here. Now, our name, Cherokee, is not our true name. It's a label put on us. There's no R's in our language. So how can we call ourselves Cherokees?
Wow.
But now, when Hernando de Soto came through the southeast, he had Choctaw guides. Now, these guides, they must have spent some time together for them to learn Spanish, or for the Spanish conquistadors to learn Choctaw, you know. So they had to be able to communicate with each other. So when they came through Cherokee country, they asked who we were. The Choctaws called us Chalagese. In their language, it means caveman. So that gives you an example of how old our medicine is, how old our people are back in caveman days.
And to add upon the caveman thing, that's dealing with one of the elements of the earth, which is cave. Like, you know, I know some of the initiations that ancient ancestors did, like for missions, you know, like fasting, sun gazing, sun dancing, and one of the ones I heard that is going into the caves and meditating and listening to the earth speak to you into the dream.
How do you know?
Because the rocks speak to me, earth speaks to me. Can you elaborate on the stones, the crystals and the stones? Yeah, you may hold it. You will hold it.
You guys will turn that off.
Thank you. That's